Okay, to set it up for 2-zone operation, we've only got 4 speakers connected. Front speakers are zone 1. Channels 6 and 7 are going to be our zone 2, but we have to tell the receiver what we want to do. So menu, we go into our settings, the regular menu, and input config we don't have to do anything with. General setup, we don't want to do auto setup. We are going to first speaker types, and you'll see this menu. Front, left, and right, we can actually, depending on the speakers that you have, you can change them from small to large. In this case, we have some very large towers, so I'm going to set them to large. The one we're most concerned with is use channels 6 and 7 4, and then hit OK to select our sub-menu. And we don't want to use them for surround back. We're going to use those for zone 2. So we lock that in. Zone 2 now. Use channel 6 and 7 for zone 2. If you don't set this, zone 2 is not going to work properly. Okay. Speaker distances, I've left to the factory defaults at all zeros. It doesn't matter for what we're doing here. Volume settings, same thing. We want to go down to zone settings, and this is where it becomes important. Zone 2 input, in this particular instance, I've got it set to follow zone 1, so that whatever's playing in zone 1 will play on zone 2. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to change that so that zone 2 input becomes the game input. So now whenever I select zone 2, we will hear whatever's playing on the iPhone. That way we'll know for sure that it's working, because we have a CD playing on one player and the iPhone playing in the other. So this way we'll know for certain. Okay. Other settings, zone 2's status right now is showing standby because it's off. You can also set the volume that you want zone 2 to come up at. In this case it defaults to 50 decibels, and we tested that already and that seems fine. You can also create a threshold so that somebody can't exceed a certain volume. Like it says in the menu right on the screen, it's useful to prevent accidental overdriving of low power speakers. Like on a patio, you might have smaller speakers. This prevents turning it up too loud. So you can set the max on volume and you can set the max volume allowed on that input. Okay, exiting the menu, we're going to hit the menu key to jump out of that. I'm going to select Blu-ray, which is our Blu-ray player here, and it should be playing our CD. Okay, now the important question is how to get to zone 2. Let's turn the volume down on our main zone. Okay. Now, amp plus OK. You have to press them both at the same time. So amp plus OK, it'll say standby zone 2. Now we press the power key just like we're turning on another amp, and you have to do it fairly quick or it'll default back. So I'm going to press amp and OK again at the same time. When it's in standby, then I'm going to press the power button, and you see it's going to say game on there now because we're now turning zone 2 to game, which is our input for the iPod. And it could be any input, or it can follow zone 1 if you want. Now as I turn this up, let's see, I'm turning up zone 1 right now, and what I want to do is turn up zone 2. Let me pause here for a moment.
Stop.